music is the people music, you know, reggae music is news. It's news about your own self, your own history, things that you wouldn't really, they wouldn't teach in a school.
Yes, it's very clear if you listen to early Wailers music that the black music in the black American community was extremely influential. We had a struggle that, you know, included our writers, our performers, and the people. It was a whole movement. And I have no doubt that Bob and perhaps the whole of Jamaica listened, heard, and was inspired by what they saw happening here musically and otherwise.
Burning all pollution tonight. Burning all illusion.
After being exposed to so much aggression and prejudice against blacks in the United States, Bob went back to Jamaica and turned to Rastafari. It was 1966, and he was 21 years old. Rastafari is distinctively Jamaican, a black consciousness movement that replaces armed physical struggle with a spiritual one.
But I call it Rastafari.
It appealed to Bob because Rastas despise the political forces they believe impose poverty and brutality upon the people. Those Rasta ideas were to revolutionize Bob's music and politics in the years that followed.
Did I hear the words of a higher man say? Babylon throne gone down, gone down. Babylon throne gone down. Then I hear the words of the Rasta man say. Babylon throne gone down, gone down. Babylon throne gone down.
And myself among a people who I Selassie I call the wonderful people, the Africans who have been birthed here in the Western Hemisphere.
Rastas have been outcasts in Jamaica since colonial times, viewed as a threat by mainstream society. Their alternative philosophy is based on a rereading of the Bible, which sees black people in the West as exiles from their African homeland, and Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia as the true Messiah. Bob passionately embraced these ideas.
Well, I've been a Rasta from ever since, you know, but it's not how long I've been a Rasta, it's how long it takes you to grow up. Because what he is what he is, from beginning to the end, he can never change. So we're just Rasta from creation, you know.
2,000 years of history. Could not be wiped away so easily.
I will say to the people, man, be still and know that His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia, is the rightful ruler. Now the Bible says so, Babylon newspaper says so, and I, the children, say so. What they want? They want a white God. The God come black.
They said the Lion train is coming our way. Got to take it to thank the Lord.
I'm a Rasta, and I know I want to live near my father, and my father lives in Ethiopia. So I must live where my father is.
One of the early slogans of Rasta was, "Your mother forsake your father, forsake your Rasta will take you." And Bob would have heard this. And all the campsites, he, Selassie, definitely became the father figure for Bob in a personal sense. Bob felt a special affinity for Selassie based on his rejection by his father.
Captain Norval Marley, Bob's father, was a white Jamaican who had supervised the colonial farmlands for the British Crown. He got a local teenager pregnant, married her, and left. And that was all Bob ever knew of him.
You know, Bob's father being a white person, his mother being a black person, in those days it was a kind of reproach situation. Reproaches came down on both sides of the fence. You should never have gotten a black woman pregnant. You should never be pregnant by a white man. So that child is kind of a child that is, you know, not saying not wanted, but scared off.
What I couldn't understand in those days, I understand it after. And then I just realized, you know, that is a part of life. And that was like the resentment, you know, between black and white.
Born fatherless, I never know my father. My mother worked 30 shillings a week to keep me go to school, right? We don't have education, we have inspiration. If I was educated, I would be a damn fool.
I think what contributed to Bob being who he was the fact that he grew up in the country, that he used to farm, and he had that sort of innate intelligence that, you know, you have to put in to take out. But if you grow up in an urban environment, the only thing between you and what we want is money. Anything we want is available immediately.
To succeed in the cutthroat music business of the late 60s, Bob Marley knew he would have to return to the Kingston studios and reflect the hard realities of street life in his songs.
Reggae music is a music created by Rasta people, and it carry earth force, a people rhythm, like people, you know, it's a rhythm of people working, people moving, you know. Well, we play music, you know, and we don't play for suit critics. We play what we want to play, when we want to play it, how we want to play it, and we have a reason why we play it.
You're man, you got to do your best.
The local recording industry was highly competitive, full of ambitious and talented vocal groups, of which the Wailers were just one. But they had enjoyed the advantage of being backed by some of the most revered instrumentalists in the history of Jamaican music, like the Scatterlights, whose particular brand of ska